The new IMO rules that come in 2020, we're already seeing a pretty significant push on for LNG as a bunkering fuel. Obviously Europe well ahead of the rest of the world, and Asia moving along. But here in North America, starting to see uptake, really positive response from both our provincial government here and the federal government, local port authorities to make this thing happen so we can provide LNG into the bunkering market. Target of 15% of our supply by 2030 is kind of mandated a bit by the government, but also a stretch by ourselves to be part. We want the gas system to be part of the long-term future, and we believe it will be. So that renewable supply will come from things like capturing landfill gas, digesters in agricultural situations like farms, that type of thing. And then thirdly, likely from the injection of hydrogen into our system. So much like's been done in Germany, some in California that will develop sources of hydrogen from renewable power likely, and then be able to inject a portion of that into the system. So probably three different areas right now. And another area that's being developed in BC is around the forestry industry. It's very extensive here, and if we can find ways to turn that excess biomass or waste wood products into methane as well, we'll be putting that in the system. The development of obviously very large-scale projects, joint ventures are the way to go to mitigate risk and bring the right sets of expertise and markets to the table. But even projects like ours, which are 2 to 3 million ton build-out per annum, we think partnerships are very important, especially Indigenous partnerships working with local First Nations. We did that with our peak shaving plant on Vancouver Island a few years ago. We have two nations, the Cowichan Nation Alliance and the Chemainus First Nation, that each own 7.5% of the project and have since it started up and have been operating that. So we think that model makes a lot of sense for the future and is a good way to go, and it helps get everybody on board and everybody benefiting from the projects. We're very fortunate here in Canada with the extent of gas reserves we have, the infrastructure that's in place to move that around the province of BC and across the country. So we think there should be a bright future. We've seen LNG Canada take a FID decision last fall, so that's kind of spurred things on further. Wood Fibre LNG is talking an FID this year is their plan. We're continuing to expand our Tilbury project. So we think there's a real great opportunity to take what's really the cleanest LNG in the world through our whole upstream transportation and LNG production process and put that in a marketplace and reduce global emissions overall in a way that really no other country can do that, given how we're building out and the regulations we have on LNG production. I just find it's a great opportunity to network. You always learn a lot. I mean, there's new opinions, views, meet the key players in the industry, whether that's developers of projects, customers, equipment suppliers, shipping companies, so on. So it brings a broad perspective, and I find the quality of the presenters and the topics are helpful. And you can never miss by learning something new from someone else, and bringing some new ideas from around the world to the table is helpful for us.